I'm sure some of you've heard this story and how we got started. But, I was doing an HVA survey for a multi-story building, and I'm walking through, and I walk through the building, and it's the middle of winter time. All the windows are open. What's going on here? And I had just completed a course on calculating energy in buildings. I'm talking to the customer. I says, maybe you want me to look at your heating, not your, not the AC. So that they agreed to let me look at it for them. And what happens is they're turning the steam on in the fall, and they shut it off in the spring, and they regulate the temperature by opening the windows. It's like, well, listen, fresh with my, back then there was no computers. I ran through all my computations, and I'm coming back with an 18-month payback. So customer, said, great. He says, do it. So we started the project. It was a pretty big building, 6-story building. It was over 200 zones, and we started the building. And I get 3/4 of the way through the project, and I get a call that the CFO wants to talk to me about my 18-month payback calculations. So, okay, he's got a question like calcs. I better have all my math ready, so when he questions me, so I go up to the corporate office. I go see him. He says, I want to let you know that. He says, you told me 18-month payback? He said, yeah. I said, well, how far complete are you? He said, well, we're about 3/4 of the way through. Well, he said, I want to let you know that the job has already paid for itself. So that's it. Well, we made me think that, hey, this is, there's something to this energy conservation and energy efficiency. And it kind of started us down the path. And part of it is things should be done in proper order, in regards to, energy conservation, energy efficiency. Things should be done. You don't want to go put a solar system in a building that's inefficient. So the first thing you want to do is you want to do the lighting. You want to make sure you have the most efficient building before I was in a meeting with the solar contractor, and he's saying, well, don't improve the lighting. You don't want to do that. You want to put a solar system, in to reduce your usage. We can put a bigger solar system in. But we want to do as Elena had said, is the energy you don't use is the best. Is free. So. We come through, and we like to come through, and it's always low-hanging fruit, and lighting obviously is always the best. It's always your low-hanging fruit, whether it's LED, whatever is available. Then controls, whether it's HVAC controls or lighting controls, is your next best low-hanging fruit. Most buildings, most cases. Then you get into HVAC. It's longer payback, longer incentives. And then other opportunities in manufacturing. There's a lot of process heating and cooling opportunities, whether it's heat recovery or more efficient units that are available. We always come through, and not everything's going to pay for itself. We look at need and opportunity, and that's what I'm sure if anybody's heard me spiel, they're going to hear me say, what's the need, because and what's the opportunity. I'm not going to go in and you have a 3-year-old HVAC unit that's very inefficient. Well, I'm not going to convince you to try to replace replace a unit that's 3 to 5 years old. It's nowhere near its life expectancy. We're going to look at units that are close to the life expectancy, unless there's something that's really outrageous that would have a low 3-year payback or something. We're going to look at, where's the need? So we're going to go through roof, is there a rooftop unit that's 12 or 15 years old? Boilers, control system that's obsolete, that's not functioning. You have pneumatic system. Most pneumatic systems are 50, 60% inoperable. Again, we're going to look at, you look at your energy uses in buildings, electrical and gas. So where is your major need? Is it, can you benchmark your building? Are we going to show that you're using more gas or more electric than similar buildings do? So where's going to be our target? Where's that need? Where's that opportunity? Again, it's energy management systems and new technologies. We're seeing a lot of manufacturers go into IP controls. So everything is going to go on the Ethernet. No more proprietary communication networks, even back then. It's going to be everything's going to be Wi-Fi, everything's going to be Ethernet, and the direction of everything now is not everybody. Right now you go in a building, and we finished a building not too long ago, and the lighting controls are on one network. We go in there, the HVAC has their own network. The fire alarm has their own network. Security all has their own network. And where everything is going is there's going to be one common platform for everything. And everybody's going to be in that network, and it's all going to be integrated. And that's where the manufacturers are going. And everybody says, I'm going to put variable frequency drives in, but you can put a variable frequency drive in and replace a conventional unit and not save any money. It's not the variable frequency drive that saves the energy, it's the control and operation and logic that you put in to operate that drive that makes the difference. So, so people come in, let's just put VFDs in everywhere, and they don't have a logic or a function behind it. You know, say, building envelopes. When we're doing a load calculation for a building, the biggest offender is ventilation and air infiltration. So, if you go through and you have high outside air requirements, you got to look at, can I reduce my air? Can I put demand control ventilation in? What can we do? Roofing, shading, overhead. So, when we look at the second next is your glass. What kind of glass, what kind of shading do you have? And then we look at your insulation. Roof insulation is the most important. Computer modeling. We want to come in, we want to intelligently be able to tell you what is this going to say? What is this going to say by doing this? So, we'll come in and we'll do a computer simulation of your building. So we'll actually model your building. We'll reconcile it with your existing utility bills to make sure that we have some baseline. And then from there, we use this modeling, and this is required for CPACE, it's required for the utility companies, and it's required at least to give you a peace of mind. What is this doing? I'm going to change out, well, how is it going to affect the lighting? My lighting, I'm going to put LED lighting in, but when you put LED lighting in, if you look at the modeling, well, it's a funny thing happens. Your heating goes up. you know, it says, well, why did my heating go up? Because the amount of heat that your wattage goes, that the lighting, the watts from your light put into the building actually reduce your heating up. So, you know, the modeling takes that into effect. But it also reduced my cooling load. So now I have less of a cooling load in the building. And, you know, so just by changing that one thing, changing the lighting affected the HVAC system, both your gas consumption and your energy from HVAC. You know, a lot of the utility company doesn't care where your building is right now when they're giving your incentives based on this. They want to know where code minimum is. So what we have to do is go through and we would model your building as it is reconciling. Then we have to do another model as if your building met the current codes. And, you know, in whatever the current codes are, or whatever code they recognize. And whether it's the utility company or CPACE, or whether it's the IRS, because some of your incentives are based on this modeling, they have a different baseline. So we have to make sure that we're using the right baseline and the right code for that baseline. And then from there, we calculate what's going to be our energy conservation measure, and how is that going to affect. You know, we're going to do lighting. Well, how does that affect my AC? How does it affect my heating? How does it affect my overall building energy usage? And for each measure, we can model it. And that's a lot of times how incentives are based on that outcome. Measurement and verification, you know, it's, you know, based on what we did, what are we actually getting out of the bill? So is somebody going to look at your utility bills afterwards and see, am I in fact using less gas? Am I in fact using less electricity from this upgrade? I put the VFDs in, did they actually save what I wanted to do? You know, somebody and one thing that's tough about measurement and verification, as I had said before, you know, we're going to model the building, you know, and we go back when I originally started, I said, you know, I did hand calculations to calculate my savings, and I came up with 18 months, and they really were 6 months. Well, you know, what I couldn't model were the people opening the windows. You know, there's nothing in my model that says, well, the fellow opened the window and closed the window. You know, so those are things that can't be modeled. You know, well, you know, there was a power outage, as Elena had said before. You know, that can't be taken into the model. Or, gee, we closed that wing of the building, we're not using that wing of the building. Or when we originally did the model for the baseline, oh, well, we didn't tell you that the air conditioning that you upgraded, that hasn't worked in over a year. So we really, you know, your baseline really isn't accurate because, you know, the air conditioning they replaced never even ran before. It was inefficient, but it didn't run. So, you know, we took credit for energy that wasn't being utilized. So, you know, these are all things to be taken into consideration with measurement and verification. You know, even you have to look at the modeling, and you have to understand that it's a guideline. You know, if it turns around and they're telling you you're going to save 200 kWh and you're only saving 100, well, it was a guideline to get you in the area. You know, you're not going to save 5 or 15. You're not going to save 500.
How is the verification of these savings done? Done through a program? Must be something.
There's a lot of times. So, you know, in back when they were talking about controls, you know, there's dashboards, and a lot of people will install a dashboard, and the dashboard is going to give you a running total of your energy usage and a comparison. So, you know, these are great energy efficiency tools. So, and a way of doing measurement and verification. So I upgraded my control system. Well, I want to put in a dashboard as well that shows me how much my instantaneous, how much gas I'm using today, how much electricity I've used today, where am I compared to last year. And these are all tools that are available. I mean, it could be someone that you pay that takes your utility bills and takes all the sub-metering, because that's something that else you may want to consider is putting sub-metering on, whether it's on your chiller, maybe high efficiency chiller, or maybe high efficiency boiler. You know, what am I using? Taking that information and spreadsheeting it out and comparing it to last year. You know, and some people, that's all they do. That's their job, is measurement and verification. And, you know, you can hire them to do that for you. Yes.
Connecticut hasn't had great statistics of late, but one statistic I did hear that was positive had to do with the number of people being hired in the state in this energy efficiency space. And I think a lot of it were larger companies hiring efficiency managers or whatever the technical term is. Where does one get the training? I find that we have all these new technological advancements with these dashboards, and I wonder how well people in, say, a larger company know how to read them, operate them. Where does one get the training? Put that out there anyway.
You know, that's a good question, and some of it's with the manufacturers. You know, a lot of it there isn't formal training. I mean, you can go to school and for an energy manager or as an energy consultant, and there are programs that are available. But for specific programs, you almost have to go right to the manufacturer, whether it's whoever manufactures the dashboard or the different company, or whether it's Honeywell, whether it's Johnson Controls. You have to look at the programs that they have available, and that's kind of what's out there. There isn't a lot. I wish I had more. I'm sure Elaine can answer that as well.
Oh, good. I was going to say the association.
Association of Energy Engineers.
It's
Yeah.
more like
Right.
all encompassing, not specific to one product.
They're many.
And those are the programs that I was basically referring to,
Yeah.
and the certifications that they offer.
Robert?
Isn't that like also, could you get that, some of that information through benchmarking your building through Eversource or?
Through Energy Star.
Through Energy Star.
Department of
right, I'm sorry.
Energy's
Yes.
website, Energy Star.
Right, they'll benchmark your building, then they put in a program in place where you can watch it. And also, doesn't like if you have a building management system, ABS would kind of train you in how to use it, or you can contract them to do that for you, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, and I do believe the utility actually is, requires that as a salesperson that sells some of these products, that we train our customers with whatever manufacturing, lighting controls, HVAC controls, to ensure that they do know how to work it, because most of them don't, and just as you're bringing up. And it's one of the things that's challenging from a sales standpoint, because people are scared of technology they don't understand, so.
And we run into that. I mean, as a Johnson Control dealer, and we're also putting in dashboards. You know, we supply the training, but the problem is that for one, we'll offer 48 hours worth of training, but what happens, we get the call 2 months from now, 3 months from now, they haven't looked at it and they haven't started it now. Well, how do you check that again? And, what is this, or how do I get into it?
So what I hear you saying, Ben, is there's no education-like experience.
Right. That's it.
Well, and the other challenge in the industry is that nor do the customers want another job to do with their own company, it's like, so that's a really big challenge, all this stuff is coming down the pipe, but, when you step into the customer's shoes, they're like, I got enough to do, it's hard.
We've automated it. We have systems that we've automated, and we do the calculations for them, and we actually email the monthly, the results. But you know, and if it's like me, it's, oh my God, another email. You know, I got I might get the time. You know, so it's, you know, there's only so much I guess we all can do. But there are people and there are organizations out there that will handle the measurement verification for you for a fee. You know, it's, you know, LED lighting, you know, it's even the LED lighting technology has been improved. I mean, you know, I'm sure the systems that were put in the LED infancy that could be done now and be much better. You know, and it's just like when we were doing, you know, when LED first came out, you know, people said, well, we just did a lighting upgrade, but that was fluorescent. You know, it's now LED, and it's, you know, there was major increases. You know, the costs are coming down. You know, it's in the amount of light the fixture puts in. I mean, you're going through and you can put in, you know, you might put in half the amount of fixtures, and this is a lot of times what we sometimes suggest, well, have it do a light model. You know, where's my light level now? Where's my light level going to be when I'm through? You know, am I going to have an even light throughout? Show me what the results are. You know, can you do a photometric survey for me? Different type of HVAC technologies. You know, air conditioning units haven't changed all that much. You know, the refrigerants have changed. You know, to reduce global warming, to be less, to have less effect on the atmosphere or on the ozone layer. But in regards to compressor technology, whether it's these are bearingless compressors, variable speed compressors, digital scroll compressors, where they actually, number one, make as efficient as possible, but then match the load. Instead of having a machine just turning, banging on and off, they actually vary the load. The compressor would need the load infinitely vary.
Dave,
Yes.
where do we land in refrigerants, though? I mean, they keep changing, and now, you know, I'm buying myself a unit that runs on this refrigerant. It's like, sorry, that's going to be obsolete in 4 years or something. Or we're going, where are we going to land with what's going to be the kind of the industry standard for refrigerant, so we know like what we should purchase?
I don't know where we're going. I mean, I don't think we're not there yet. And I don't, at this point, they haven't come up with a standard. I mean, 410A is going to be around for a while. But at some point, that refrigerant is going to go away. There was a lot of compressors where it was 130, everybody said, well, we're going to go with 134A, and well, guess what? 134A is going away. So
Ice cubes. Yeah, ice cubes.
well, they're going to end up where, you look at they're trying to be as environmentally friendly. I said, they're actually using water as a refrigerant in some absorbers, and it works on a desiccant principle. And that's, there are options, but there's a cost as well. The other, in regards to new technology, variable refrigerant systems, there's some complexity to them, but are they efficient? Yes, they're very efficient. I just finished a model for a customer we have. He's putting in about an 8,000 square foot office building, and we compare conventional systems and to high efficiency systems. And basically going from a baseline system to a high efficiency system on this particular building, the customer would save $2,000 a year. going to a variable refrigerant flow system, the customer is going to save $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a year. And as part of, we did this as part of our computer model. We looked at the building, and the customer was trying to be very progressive. Well, where's my code insulation? Let's model what our code insulation is for a standard unit, and let's model. I want to put foam insulation through the whole building, and I want to put triple glazing, and I want to have a tightly sealed building with energy recovery. Where does that bring me? And then let's do that same comparison with every type of system, so that the customer, can intelligently say, this is a nonprofit. They need to know where my costs going to be. I have to make sure that I'm making a smart decision. And it's not only that, what's my total cost of ownership? Okay, this unit is going to save $8,000 a year for a small nonprofit, which is a lot of money. What's my cost of ownership going to be? What's my maintenance going to be? What's my life expectancy? We're putting this, a lot of manufacturers, you're going to be seeing DRS systems in a lot of buildings. We're doing a 50,000 square foot office building right now, all DRS. And modeling it compared to a high efficiency boiler system, and it came out 10-20% better. In taking it one step further, it's, again, that same variable refrigerant flow technology. There's a gas version. There's a manufacturer. So instead of running it with an electric compressor, they're running it with a gas engine-driven compressor. The exact same system. And it's taking those numbers and taking another 30% off the operating cost. So the technology is out there, and gas, and everybody now is looking at gas engine-driven chillers. And the problem now is with your utility bill. If you look at your utility bill, almost 50% of it now is demand charge. So it's not only so energy conservation may not affect your bill as much because, hey, I want to put something that's efficient to reduce my demand charge. So like lighting takes it right off your demand charge. But if I put a control system in that shuts the unit on and off and makes it efficient, but what happens when it's 95 degrees outside? Well, I still have to run my air conditioning unit to be comfortable. There goes my demand charge. I'm back up to where we were. So, I have a lot of customers now looking at gas engine-driven equipment to remove that demand charge. So I'm not only saving on usage, which is 50% of the bill, but my demand charge. So I'm taking advantage of the whole complete savings. And that also goes back to the gas-driven VRF system. So, the gas engine-driven chiller, these are reported over 50% less to operate. And there are state incentives available. And we have systems that have been out there for 30 years, almost 30 years, and still running. Gas boiler conversions. I still have customers that have gas in their building and are running oil. They save 30% on the gas bill. Let's do a conversion for a small minimal charge to convert your existing oil. And let's take it a step further. Let's put a condensing boiler. In regards to incentives that have been cut, but a lot of the gas incentives are still available. There's still $8,000 per million BTUs rebate available. for condensing oils. So that, and that's going to take us to, from 75 or 80% efficient oil, it's going to take us to 95, 96, even more. The other thing, we talk about it, when we're designing a system, whether it's pumping or boilers, we want to design the system accordingly. So instead of having a standard 20-degree temperature rise, have a 30 or 40-degree temperature rise, take advantage of the condensing water, use smaller pipes, smaller pumping horsepower. So it goes into variable pumping. You're paying for a pump that they turn the pump on and it runs 24/7 through the whole heating season. And this takes advantage of putting a VFD on and reducing your water flow. Only put the water where it's needed. These are things. The same thing. You want to design and take the time initially if you're doing the building to design your piping system or design your ductwork system. I hear customers saying, well, ductwork is ductwork. What do I do here? Well, I've done comparable models where I have a custom one particular system on a well-designed duct system. We only needed a 5 horsepower motor to circulate the air. On the poorly designed system, they needed a 10 horsepower motor to cycle the same amount of air. Well, that fan is running every single day. There's 5 horsepower, 5 kW. It's never going to go away. So you got to think about that initial design and then ductwork. People things that aren't going to think about that. Same thing with the piping. You do the same thing happens with piping, designing piping and pumping horsepower. You want to design a system that has the least amount of pumping horsepower. Which goes into the variable designs and two-way control valves. You want to be able to two-way control valves instead of three-way valves. Well, let's not circulate the water if we don't need to. This goes on the same. What are they saying? And just quickly, I also want to get into on-site generation, whether it's cogeneration, PV, solar, any combined heat and power, aka cogeneration systems, tri-generation system, where it's putting out cooling as well. Different types, reciprocating, turbine, fuel cells, Rankine cycle generation, and that works on heat recovery. If you have a manufacturing facility and you're wasting the heat, well, you can generate electricity with that steam. Steam turbines, steam-driven microturbines. They have systems where you have a high-pressure steam facility, and I only need low-pressure steam. Instead of having a pressure-reducing valve that reduces that pressure from 100 psi down to 15 psi, you can use that to actually spin a turbine and generate different technology. Reciprocating, just a different manufacturers. There's Chiocchio, Tino Energy, Myanmar, that are available, and with different sizes. Myanmar starts at 5 kW, and you can go up to well over a megawatt, 2 megawatts. Same thing on microturbines. You got to look at each manufacturer, what fits the bill. Each manufacturer, each type of generation has its pros and cons. One puts out has more efficient power. One puts out more heating. One has a higher, what's your first cost? More uptime. How long is this going to run? Is it going to be down for maintenance? Fuel cells. One thing about, everybody says, I want a fuel cell, but you're going to have your minimum base load in your building. It's usually around 5 megawatt annually to be able to consider a fuel cell. you have to understand with cogeneration, you have to have a source for the heat. Generator, we're putting in power, we're putting in gas to the unit, we're getting power and heat out. But we're getting that power and heat out 24/7. So I have to be able to, does my boiler run 24/7? Is it running year round? That's what I would say. Well, if it is, well, maybe I can use a cogeneration system or CHP system. Different incentives that are available. There's a DG rider. So if you have a properly installed cogeneration system, the DG rider credits you the transportation charge. So you actually get your transportation charge on your gas bill credited back to you on the gas that's used on the cogeneration system. That's why if you're putting in a cogeneration system, you're going to want to put in a separate meter, a separate demand charge ratchet. The part of that DG rider will credit you on that annual charge the size of the cogeneration system. So if you put in a 250 kW cogeneration system, it'll automatically come off the annual ratchet. And you have to look at your bills. Not every rate has an annual ratchet. A lot of them have monthly ratchet, but it won't affect the monthly ratchet, except if you're running the machine, obviously. And the pros and cons is if I'm running my cogeneration unit and I'm reducing my monthly charge by the size of the unit, obviously. But if somebody goes, well, let's shut the machine down and service it. Well, I just lost my monthly charge. So you got to plan the maintenance the best you can and do it at times where you're not at peak, so you don't affect that monthly peak charge. Class 3 obviously this class 1 renewable for fuel cell cogeneration will qualify for a class 3 rate. And you had mentioned C-Power. C-Power also has a capacity charge reduction that you can pay, you're going to get an incentive for through C-Power. So, you have different, besides saving with the cogeneration system, you're going to save, you're going to get, could be anywhere up to 3 cents back per kW, per kWh on the class 3 incentive. And you could get anywhere in that 2 cents or better on the capacity charge. So there could be 4 cents just in those incentives on top of the gas, the discount from the gas for the eliminating the transportation charge. And there's also, you have to talk to C-Power about possible demand response reduction as well. Some of the advantages of on-site generation, it's more efficient than the utility. You eliminate any transportation losses. Reduce greenhouse gas. You're environmentally reduce your pollutants. You're going to try to take advantage of whatever thermal needs available. You don't want to put a cogeneration system in and then just dump the heat out in the atmosphere. Most likely it's not going to be economically the right thing to do as well as environment. Some of our comparisons for on efficiencies, our utilities, is published as 33%. Steam turbines 80%, reciprocating cogeneration is 75 to 80. Turbines, standard combustion turbines are 65 to 70%. Microturbines are 60 to 70. Fuel cells 55 to 80. Here's EPA has a great comparison for on-site generation to tell you advantages and disadvantages. A lot of times it comes down to a standard old reciprocating CHP system is the best bang, for the buck, as I say. There are advantages, if you're looking for steam, I have customers that, those particular units make hot water, but they have a steam usage, whether it's processed. Well, that's going to push you, maybe now you want to look at a microturbine, turbine.